It's your girl Brittany here, and welcome to Brit Positive Podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope everyone's having a great day. Now, before we get started, I'd like for you guys to click that subscribe button and like button as well so we can continue looking for the positive in every situation. Now, to keep up with us here, you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and you can listen to us on YouTube and Podbean. If you're listening to us on YouTube, then click that subscribe button and notification bell as well to get notified to see when we've posted. And if you are listening to us on Podbean, then you can click that follow button to join the Brit Positive Fam Bam and download this podcast so you can listen to it on the go. You can also check out our merch. The link is down below. By purchasing it, you are showing your support in looking for the positive in every situation. And please put hashtag Brit Positive Merch. When you purchase one, take a picture of it, selfie, show me how cute you looking in it, because I so want to see, and just show your support in knowing that there's always positive, and the positive always outweighs the negative. And don't entertain that negativity, entertain the positivity. So if you want to show that support, click that merch button down there and check out our shirts, and let me see you in that merch. Okay, now our Brit Positive quote of the day is, stop waiting for Friday. For summer, for someone to fall in love with you, for life. Happiness is achieved when you stop waiting for it and make the most of the moment you are in now. I saw this quote and it really resonated with me. It just reminded me to enjoy every day and just be present. It kind of goes into what I've actually learned while in quarantine, so I can't wait for you guys to get into this with me. This podcast is a little different. It's really me just sitting down and just talking to you guys and just sharing what I've learned. I believe we all can learn from one another, so please feel free to comment as well to let me know what you've learned during quarantine while I'm sharing, just because I'll definitely would like to get some knowledge from you guys as well as to, what did you get out of it and why, and, how has that changed your perspective on life, things like that. I don't know. I'm just a deep thinker like that. So please share with me and as I share with you guys. So today's topic of this podcast, as you can clearly see, is things I've learned while in quarantine. So let's get into it, you guys. So one of the things I learned while in quarantine is to be present and don't take things for granted. I feel for a lot of us out there, we're used to this whole fast-paced life where we're going and going and doing and doing, and it's like we never took the time to really take that moment to be present. Maybe we have, maybe we thought we were, but this, I believe, us being quarantined and just kind of staying home and having to look literally like what we have at home and not really going out to explore and do those things. I think it's needed for us to take that time to just be present, to see where we're at in life, to take this time to reflect. And mind you, some of my one point might bring in like many other points in there, so forgive me if that happens, but that's just how it is. It just like links to so many other things I learned. But for one is to be present and just be grateful. Like, don't take things for granted and just enjoy the day that you're given, because I believe we kind of just see we're in that one day, but we're looking at like 2 weeks ahead, 4 weeks ahead, 4 months ahead, and nothing's wrong with having goals, because I believe that helps motivates us, but it does take away from us being present and just really enjoying the little things. So that's one of the things I learned first and foremost during this whole quarantine experience. The next thing I learned while in quarantine was to really take this time to, get closer to God. And so that's one of the things I got from this whole experience, was just taking this time to pray, read the Bible, and really hear what God's trying to say to me. And I believe he has so much things to say to everybody. We just have to actually take the time and listen. So I've been in this season of just listening and hearing what he has to say with all the noise of corona and the pandemic and quarantine and self-isolation and 3 feet apart or 6 feet apart. Yes, it's just a lot of information coming from the news, but this time I'm also trying to hear information on what God has to say about all this. So one of the things I got from this quarantine experience is to really sit down with him and really hear him speak and just listen out for what his plans are for each and every one of us, and like, what his plans for you, you know? And I guess you might be wondering, well, I don't know. I've tried this, I've tried that. And believe me, it's not easy. It takes work. It takes actually you doing the act for you to get certain answers like that. So, for one, what I've been trying is like this Bible app. And I mean, everybody has different Bible apps, or, people I've know. But with the Bible app, you can create like a study online. I was on one not too long ago with a few people from my church, and it was really, encouraging. It gets you to, it keeps you in the Word every day, and it can be relating to something you're going through. It can relate to a feeling, or, whether it's anxiety, depression, whether it's nervousness or fear, or it can be something positive. It doesn't have to be negative. It can be where you want to hear about how to be optimistic through Christ and things like that. You can follow those kind of like day to day devotionals and just keep up with them, see what the Bible says about those topics, and it just keeps your head in the Word so that you have these things to go back out there in the world with, so that you don't allow what the physical things are out there kind of freak you out, but just have that spiritual confidence and like, God says this and I'm holding on to that. And that will help you get through the day, right? So, take the time to do that because it's something that's helped me. It's something I've learned. And I've learned so much from that and just hearing what God has to say about different things. Like, when you worry, like, do not worry, for I'm with you, that kind of thing. Even though he didn't say worry, he said fear. But, I'm just giving you a little short version, my own version of it. But, worrying, fear, it's just kind of like similar. But yeah, it's just, it helps me personally, and I hope it helps you to just not put that pressure on yourself, but just putting that faith and trust in Him to help you through it. So there's that. The next point I got here is the 3 R's: relax, reflect, recharge. Now, if you relax, you're taking that time to just feel good and do something that helps you really feel good, but low key, like you're being relaxed. It's not stressing you out. It's not, getting in your head too much. You're just strictly relaxing and enjoying the day and enjoying the time you're in. So that can be meditating, that could be praying, that could be taking a nap for some, that can be taking a bubble bath, that can be, I don't know if video games help people relax. Who knows? Everybody's different. But find that thing that really helps you to, rest your body, rest your mind. And then also find the time to reflect. This time, I believe, while we're all quarantined, is simply to just, listen and, kind of see where we are now and where we want to go afterwards. Like, where do we see ourselves after Corona, and like, how do we get there, and things like that. So use this time to really reflect on things, back then before the pandemic, and then kind of take that time to, navigate, you know, where you want to go from here. Because I believe this time that we're forced to slow down is really to take a moment to look in within ourselves and to kind of just dive into that thinking of who you want to be and who are you trying to become, those kind of things. And I believe once you do these things, you'll feel recharged. You'll feel like your head is put on straight. You feel like you're walking towards something, and you're also having in your head what you want to do, what you're trying to do, where you're going, and who you're hoping to become, of course, with the help of Christ. And all of this can help you feel good, and that you'll be able to not just feel good within yourself, but you'll be able to even help others. And I believe this whole 3R thing: relax, reflect, and recharge. This is all just to help you, to help others, because I believe out of our purpose of being here, with many other purposes we may have, one of them is definitely being there for one another, because I believe people need people. And so no one is supposed to be alone, I believe. That's just me, but I believe we're all meant to be there for each other. So by taking care of yourself first, which is the whole self-care thing, I'm a big advocate for it. Taking care of yourself mentally and physically will help you be able to help others as well. So keep that in mind. Another thing I learned while being quarantined is it gave me a chance to really look at what did I depend my happiness on? I believe a lot of us were in a time where we were dependent on things happening, like circumstances. And I recently, learned from TD Jakes, listening to one of his sermons about just like, does our faith determine on how our circumstances are? Like, when do we really truly are happy and at peace with God? Is it when things are going our way? And why is it only when things are going our way or the way we had hope, when it should be that way consistently through the good and the bad? Because I believe we all got miserable and angry or sad and just felt helpless with this whole COVID-19 happening, which is fine. That was our normal human reaction. But I believe if we, when we have that relationship with Christ, it shouldn't stay too long. If anything, we should just snap out of it and really get back to just being clear mind and strong will, and believing that, we have Christ and he's here, and, he will never leave and forsake us during this time. And yes, it takes time for us to put our minds and wrap it around that, because like I said, this is what I learned during quarantine. So maybe I wasn't that kind of person thinking that way before, but this time has really shown me that I don't want my dependence on happiness to be based off of how things are going in my life. I want it to just be continuous because I have Christ in my life. And it's one thing saying it, but of course you have to put work into it. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and on maybe take that time for yourself to really look at what makes you happy and why are you so dependent on that physical thing or that thing to happen in your life to be happy. Because I feel all these physical things don't matter. You can get anything you want and it will never be enough. And I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Because, when you look at the many people who have died because of COVID, it's like the things they might have gained on this earth, they weren't able to take it with them when they passed away. And I'm not saying you can't get things, because I know, shopping doesn't hurt. It does not hurt. Getting certain things you may, like and want to have fun with, totally get it. Because I like shopping myself, okay? I'm a shopper. But I never put that as my first and foremost thing to give me happiness. Because, you can have whatever you want, and there's going to be something that makes you cry, something that gives you pain. And in those times, you don't rely on those material things in your life. You rely on something much bigger than that. So, during this quarantine, for me personally, focusing my faith and my happiness just strictly on Christ and just where he wants me in life. And I believe for each and every one of us, there is a plan for us, and it's for us to go towards that plan that God has for you, because I believe that will fulfill you and make you whole, instead of it just being based off of things and society's list of things to make us think will give us happiness, will make us think, will make us feel good, when it may not even be what you were sent here to do, So just kind of keep that in mind. It's just a thought, it's just a feeling, it's something I learned, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. Now, if you like what you heard, click that like button. Thank you guys so much for listening on this podcast, and remember to follow us on the social media platforms that are linked down below. You can listen to this podcast on YouTube, and I believe this one you can listen to on Podbean. We'll be posting on Thursdays, so let's continue to spread the positivity. Thanks again for listening once again, and check out our merch. Links down below. And I really hope and pray that everyone's doing well and hanging in there, and just know that we're in this together and that we will come out of this stronger and better. And just take this time to really seek God and see what he's trying to say in this moment. Take the time to listen and just be still and know that you'll be okay and know that God is with you. Thanks again, once again, for listening. See you guys next time. Bye.